Welcome yet again for a weekly bout of monkey business from the studios of WFC3. It's Chris talking to you and leading the conversation as always with my friends and family. Billy DeTore, Tanya, Wayne, Tony, Kelsey,
Hola.
Deanna on the phone. And with us today, a big contributor to the cosplay component of FC3 going forward, it's Rika Witzel. Hey, Rika, how you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
Hanging in there. All things considered, I know you're a little under the weather today.
Yeah.
That's no fun, especially with the way the weather's been like roller coastering all over the place.
Under the weather.
Yeah, I'm literally under it.
I think we all are. It's still snowing outside, so it's kind of wild. We can see it from the studio where we're at right now.
Make sure you're wrapped up in a nice, toasty, warm blanket.
Oh, yeah, I pretty much made a fort.
Yeah, you were
Nice.
saying that when you were texting
Right,
earlier. I'm going to build myself a fort.
Yeah.
Forts are awesome.
She's in her blanket fort coloring.
Never, ever be too old to make blanket forts.
Yes.
All right, so
we do it at conventions all the time.
there you go. So Rika and Kelsey are with us today because their biggest thing is cosplay, which is a facet of conventions that have been around for quite some time. It's been, it's not as recent as a lot of people may think, but it's really become kind of a culture in the past few years. It's really kind of taking on a life of its own. Rika, do you find that like it's the current generation of tweens and kids and college kids? Is it the current generation that's really making a thing of it, or is it something that's always been kind of just been handed down?
Well, there's definitely a large range of ages that are participating right now.
Mm-hmm.
In our local scene, for sure, the college kids definitely kind of rule the roost and make a lot of the events happen, the smaller events, the meetups. But it's definitely for all ages, and you still see people even in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on, showing up at cons and doing what they love. And everyone has deep respect for these people who've been doing it since much longer than us, since before it was really this big of a culture thing.
That's cool. How long have you been into it now?
Going on 5-6 years now.
Uh-huh. What was your first cosplay?
Oh, man. It's hard to remember because it was so long ago.
Uh-huh.
Not counting, original characters or anything I did before just for fun. I think my first official cosplay was Lucy from Elf and Lead, 6 years ago at Dorcon.
Okay. All right. How about you, Kelsey?
Oh, gosh. I started about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My first cosplay was Kyo-Soma from Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket?
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing?
Yep.
Now,
It's Emily's favorite.
It's for Emily. Okay, so I should know that.
What's in the fruit basket?
What's that?
What kind of fruits in the fruit basket?
I don't know. What's the whole...
It's about this orphan girl who's just living in the woods in a tent because she doesn't want to bother anybody, and then she stumbles upon this house full of guys that turn into animals when you hug them. And
when you hug them?
Yes.
So if you don't touch them, then they're normal?
Then they're normal people.
Okay. All right. So
and there's this whole family drama within because it's the Zodiac, the Chinese Zodiac. So
Is this a show?
Yeah, it's an anime. Anime?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And can I ask, where did you do this, and did anyone else know what you were? And I'm serious.
That anime is
what type of?
Yeah, it's pretty popular anime.
Okay, it's just it's a sort of form of geekdom that I'm not as familiar with.
Yeah,
and
I'm a little weak on anime.
lot. I do see a lot of it at conventions, but I never know who they are. I don't know what they represent or.
It's actually really ironic that my first cosplay was from an anime because now it's really rare for me to cosplay from an anime. So I'm in the same boat with you. I don't recognize a lot of new animes.
There's a lot of anime out there.
There's a ton of it.
There's a ton.
It's mass produced.
And there's so much anime coming out and so much that's been out there. I remember Harlock back in the day and Star Blazers back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And it's now it's so much is I can't even keep up.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have the anime network 24 hours a day.
Now, Rika, you kind of touch on an interesting point. You said you're not as into anime anymore. Do you find that a lot of the characters you're doing, are they original characters, ones that you're creating yourself?
No, I don't do that very often
Okay.
either. I mostly cosplay from video games and American media. I wouldn't say that I'm not so much into anime anymore. I just it never was my favorite.
Gotcha.
Of media. There's definitely a few characters that I've cosplayed or animes that stuck out to me. I've watched a lot of the classics, but some people keep up with all the newest, hottest animes, and this season is actually the first time that I've gotten into the fad anime in a long time, and that's the ice skating one.
Okay.
Yes,
Yuri
Yuri
on
on
Ice.
Ice.
Yeah. That's going to be one of the hot animes this season.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Okay.
The ice skating ones, the basketball ones, the baseball ones,
Sports
the
anime
Prince
has
of Tennis.
exploded.
Shonen genre is just huge.
It's like
Sports
just,
anime.
it's
I didn't
just
even-
soap opera.
I didn't even think of listening to Rika talking about it. It almost kind of like I almost felt like I had my own Entertainment Tonight fashion reporter. Well, this is going to be what's hot this season, and I'm like, holy Christmas,
is,
that's
though.
true.
Yeah.
That's you got to keep an eye on that. There's trending stuff going on.
Yes. Well, in terms of the convention season, there's always that one anime that you see like 500 people cosplaying from. It's been Attack on Titan in the past. That was the last really big one that a lot of people did.
Okay.
Because there were so many characters in that anime, I think that's why you saw literal armies of people at conventions and cosplay from that. But I
Now-
don't think it'll be quite to that scale this time, but we'll definitely be seeing a lot of it.
Now, when things are not as popular, do you find that they're completely ignored, like they fall out of favor? Like Attack on Titan, you made a mention to it, and we have Trina Nishimura who voiced Mikasa in the the English dubs, and she is going to be coming to FC3 in May. Is this kind of thing where like, well, that's already past tense?
Well, I think the manga is still releasing more,
Yeah.
and I think the actual anime is still in production. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that because I'm not following it right now, but I know the manga is still active, so there's definitely people who are still interested in it.
Did
for
we
sure.
did we get the live action one here in the States? Or I know it
I've
was
heard
in
people
Japan.
talk about it.
Yeah,
I think that was just in Japan.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been subbed and people have watched it,
Yeah,
but like I don't.
or
it's like
bootlegged.
the live action Star Blazers that.
That was good. I remember
I liked
seeing
it.
that. That really, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was hard to start getting used to because I don't watch a lot of subtitled stuff, so it was hard to get used to that. But once you did, it was easy to deal with. It was a great show. All right, so Kelsey, what's your favorite character to cosplay?
Oh gosh.
She did so many in one
Yeah,
of our
I have-
videos.
Is she the We Are the World of cosplayers? Just
Wow.
everybody?
I mean,
To tangent, go ahead.
I have more than 30 costumes at this point.
I remember you used the bulk of them when we did the flip flop video last year.
Yes, I used quite a few of those. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, part of what makes a costume really fun is like your con experience in the costume. So I think my favorite so far has been Aoba Saragaki from Dramatical Murder because I cosplayed that like 2 years ago, right when Dramatical Murder was huge.
Okay.
And like
So you kinda
everybody
hit the
was
wave there.
cosplaying it. Yeah, if you hit a wave, it's so much fun. Like I was at Katsucon and we were having pizza with some people we had never met before, just sitting in a circle having fun. And like everybody recognizes you even if your costume isn't stellar because
Okay.
every other person is dressed as that. It was just a lot of fun being Alba.
And I want to touch on that quality stuff. But I'm going to do that a little bit because I want to ask the same question to Rika. Rika, what do you have a costume that is like first and foremost your favorite? That one that when you're thinking about your collection, that one that you just like. I need a reason to play this person again.
The second that you asked her that question, I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's coming to me.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, okay.
That's a really difficult question for me because I have so many, and also I've been fortunate to have such awesome friends that we have a good time at pretty much any convention. I would have to say if I had to pick one, it's not really one I do anymore, but my old Homestuck cosplay, Mind Fang, was the one that I wore to the most cons, the most times, and I remade it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 3 different versions of this one character, and I definitely had a lot of fun meeting people and doing photo shoots in that costume. So I have the most nostalgic and sentimental memories attached to that one for sure. But when I did Vaporeon for Pokemon Go, I would also say that's a pretty close second right now because people really thought that the sign that said, "Would you like to power up Vaporeon?" was funny. So that was a lot of fun, too. It's really hard to say that there's one favorite.
Okay. All right. So now Homestuck, I've heard that before. Is that like a popular thing that people draw from?
Homestuck is an American webcomic, and
Okay.
its fad has actually kind of passed now as well because the comic came to an end, and there's like an epilogue in process, but for the most part, there's not as many people showing up to the meetups. This is a fandom that in the past, meetups at conventions were hundreds of people strong to the point where the security for the con had to shut them down.
Okay. Jeez. All right. There's a lot going on there. Now, I'm going to change tangent because Kelsey had touched on something when she said different quality levels. You know, it's so the cosplay community. I don't feel are they a judgmental lot? Like if I just showed up with a bare bones kind of just slapped together with some stuff at home, and I showed up and it was a loose representation of a particular character, that nobody's going to really poo-poo that really that much, are they? They're a fairly accepting bunch, I hope.
I would say that depends highly on your attitude because if you walk in acting like you own the place and you're not really well put together,
Okay.
Like
some
Yo
people will
Han.
definitely get poo-poo. Yeah, well, some people will get poo-poo about it. I mean, for the most part, everybody is either so caught up in what they're doing or they're just having so much fun they don't have time to judge others. There's definitely some people in the bunch who are like that, and all they do is sit in a corner and judge everyone the whole time. But, if you're really going to spend a convention like that, then you're not there for the same reason as everyone else anyway. It's definitely overall an accepting bunch in general. You're going to find your bad eggs anywhere.
Okay, in every genre, in every culture, I would assume. I have cosplayed once in my entire life. I've cosplayed once, and that's because way back when, because I'm a big Doctor Who fan. My mom humored me and knitted me a scarf. So I have a 19-foot-long Tom Baker 4th Doctor scarf.
Did you have the hat?
I did not have the proper hat, but I had a fedora.
Did you have the hair?
I never had the hair. Okay, I never had the hair. I found a coat. I put a dress shirt on. I threw a tie on, a loose tie, and I tried to kind of slap together. It was definitely a cheesy 4th Doctor. And I remember walking into the convention nervous as hell. Because here I am, and I'm like, this was a whole new thing, and I wasn't sure. I mean, are other people going to be dressed up? Are other people going to be dressed up? I don't see any. There's a guy who's got, he looks like he might have a Star Trek uniform on. Okay.
How long ago was this?
This was for me a half a lifetime ago, and I'm going to tell you that you were not alive for that.
Was this
I don't know.
It was creation.
Downtown Holiday
Yeah,
Inn?
Downtown Holiday Inn,
Creation.
creation convention for Doctor Who and Star Trek.
Chances are you weren't around.
I was 19.
It's funny because now if you're looking for a convention, like you're driving to the location, you're like, where is it? I can't find the building. You'll see at least 30 people walking.
Yes.
In costumes.
Yeah.
You can tell.
It's
There
like
they
when you
are.
go to Anime North and you're driving down Dixon Road and they've got like all the hotels on Dixon Road out by the airport, and you see people walking a mile in costume.
Well, it's funny. A couple of years ago, Susan and I went to Pittsburgh, and we're going for a Paul McCartney concert and a baseball game. And I didn't realize when we got to our hotel, we're seeing it turned out to be the world's largest furry convention.
Oh God!
and we're
Anthrocon.
just surrounded by foxes and kitties and all. Wow, am I missing something nerdy by being? And
I don't
turns
know if
out
that's
I
actually
was.
nerdy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It
It's a
is?
little
Definitely
sub.
overlap. There's a good amount of overlap
There's
between
overlap
Okay.
in everything.
communities.
All right.
I wound up having to Google to see where I was. What's going on here?
What is going on here?
What do you guys think of Heroes of Cosplay? You must have seen that.
Oh, gosh.
Can I plead the fifth? Let me. The most polite response I can give is that I think it gives the public with no knowledge of cosplay a very wrong impression of what cosplay is about.
Okay.
So it's
I
not
was always
cutthroat.
taught-
I want to win the $25 prize at whatever convention I'm going to that week.
It's not even just that. A lot of the people that they film on there have like endless access to extremely expensive materials
Oh, yeah.
and people to make things for them. And I think for an outsider looking in, it's like, oh, well, I don't look like that and I don't have that kind of money, so I can't do this. And I think that's the wrong message. We don't want to send that at all. We want to say, hey, it doesn't matter your shape, size, gender, you know, how much money you have, what kind of materials you have access to, or even if you can sew or not, you're welcome here.
Right.
You know, we want that. And I feel like that show did a really bad job of sending that message. So I will end the comment there because
No, that's
I
valid.
don't think against any of the talented people that were on it, but I just feel like since it was a big show and it gave such a public, you know, a general public impression, I just think it didn't do the right job.
Okay. And that's valid because that's not, you know, as a convention director, I sit here and I think about the different facets that we try to bring in, and for me, the bottom line is I want to make sure that everybody who walks in the front door of FC3 is having a good time. Yeah. They're exposed to something positive. They're exposed to something they've never seen before, and they're excited about it. So, you know, to be able to say, all right, you put a funny looking scarf on and you're going to say you're the 4th Doctor, even though it's like 3 foot long scarf, but it's got the pattern on it. So, you know, close enough. Good. Have some fun. Come on in. I want to be able to have those people feel as welcome as the folks who spent 6 months working on this particular outfit so that they could present it at this particular show on this particular day. You know, you were talking about how like people will have outfits just to pick up their tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
People
so
wear
Cosplaying
a
to
whole
badge
separate
pickup.
cosplay, just the Toricon badge pickup, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's definitely something you want to reach out to these people and let them know that at every skill level, from, you know, no skill whatsoever to you are a master craftsperson, you know, you're going to be welcome. You're going to have a good time, and so that's the kind of culture you like to represent too. I've heard that, you know, when we've talked.
Yes.
See, You're a woman of few words, Rika. I love that.
No, I've
You did all
heard
the talking
She
for me.
doesn't feel good today.
I know. We're